Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. So I've got a new microphone, and so the settings might be all crazy compared to before, so we're going to see how this goes. And it's a bit later than I usually stream, so it's going to be getting dark outside. It's already a very gloomy day, so everything's going to look a little bit different, but bear with me here while I get this set up. I almost made the same mistake I've done before very early with this stream of setting up the microphone using a table stand, and with the keyboard and mouse and everything, it's so noisy. It's just, that's all you hear is keystrokes and mouse clicks. So I almost made that same mistake, but thankfully I remembered how terrible that sounded before. So yeah, I hope this sounds okay. I'm gonna have to go back and double check. It looks like I'm pretty hot, the level wise, so I hope it's okay. I turned it way down, so it's much more sensitive than the previous mic, and so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and let me know in the comments or in the chat if anything is sounding particularly strange. Now let's see, let me just double check. All right, yeah. So yeah, just yell at me in chat if you can't hear or if it's blowing your ears out or particularly irritating. But here we are back again. So now it's Golden Week in Japan. So starting, I guess it basically started Saturday, but the holidays are starting from today, kind of. So Wednesday is Enthronement Day. I think I saw the translation. I know, probably coronation would be a better word for it, but I saw it translated as Enthronement Day. So that sounds lovely. But yeah, so the son, the new emperor, is stepping up, and his wife is a bit of a problem. She, I think she's a Harvard graduate, Japanese, woman that was a foreign student, but she's got some social issues, so it'll be interesting to see how she acts as the empress. But so we'll see how that goes. The media is gonna love that. I think they're forced to be respectful, but after a certain point they'll probably start saying terrible things. I can't tell. It doesn't seem like the Japanese media is quite as cruel as the British, press, the paparazzi and stuff. But they do like to, break people down. They do like to, talk a lot about a particular actor or singer or something, and then once their drug arrest is revealed or whatever, just attack them mercilessly for their mistakes. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. This is a whole new thing, and it's funny to be here for this because there's a lot of funny changeover and stuff. And now, like, the whole country is on holiday, except for the doctors and dentists. They're in high demand because people so rarely have time off that they're going to use this time off to do all their dental cleanings and health checks and everything. So I think it's not a fun time to be a doctor or a dentist. But I also saw that they're going to be charging like holiday fees or whatever, so it's going to be more expensive if you're going to do this, if you're going to use this holiday time to actually do something practical and useful. Ooh, that's not good. But so that was interesting. I don't know what's going to come of that. There was some talk about the financial markets, the Japanese financial markets, worrying that there could be some problems with the market being shut down for so many. This is like 4 more days than it's ever been closed before, and they're worried that when things get back up and running, that the what are we doing here? That the yen will be strong, or some stocks will have lost their value just because of people playing with currency markets or whatever. So that'll be interesting to see if anything actually happens. All right. Well, I'm already feeling off today, like the rest of the country. Ugh. But I saw Endgame last night, and yeah, it's a big finale. I think they they realize they're doing one more movie. I mean, I guess the next Spider-Man is going to be officially part of this as well. The Far From Home Spider-Man movie that's coming out is going to be taking place before this or within this storyline. But yeah, they had to get everything in there, so there's a lot going on, and I guess it's really hard for them to pick up from where they left off as far as the end of Infinity War. That was quite a that was quite a downer at the end there. This is not going well. All right. Well, it's vacation. It's a special holiday version. Oh, come on. And so that keyboard. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, that keyboard would be even louder if this microphone was actually on the table. I completely forgot about that. I don't know what we're waiting for here, but keep waiting. Yes, I would like to delete the state of that pencil. All right, I'm going to move away from whatever this is. Yeah, things are not moving very quickly here. Yeah, hopefully that clicking is not too bad. Come on. Yeah, things aren't moving very well here. But let's try again. All right. Yeah, so I just got to keep doing something here. Yeah, I feel just really off. Yeah, so let me know how things sound. Hopefully it's sounding nice and clear, but everything's changed position and everything, so hopefully that will still be okay. All right. Educational game. What's going on? I gotta check my tags on Twitch. I have educational game as one of my tags. Whatever. This is an educational game, isn't it? Ugh, all right. But we'll keep doing this. Yeah, things are kind of slow. Yeah, this PC could use updated. Why am I so huge? Huge. All right. Wow, this is going to be painful. Past few weeks it's gone pretty fast and easy, but yeah, for some reason I think everything is at just a weird angle. I don't know. Yeah, setting up this new microphone kind of got me off balance here. I've got a weird angle with the screen and everything. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, jeez. I don't know what's going on. I'm in holiday mode. Whew. All right. Look, a hockey puck. But yeah, so that end game. Yeah, so that was a lot to pack in a film. I mean, they basically had 3 films with 3 different tones. There was like this sad, mopey beginning because, that's the state where everything had to kind of start. And then a kind of wacky heist section, and then the grand battle at the end. So it's not really spoiling anything. But those are 3 very different tones and 3 very different movies, basically, and they are all happening at the same time. It reminded me a bit of Return of the King, the Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings third film, because it took so long to unwind. There was a lot of prologue kind of stuff. And the first part of the film, the real down part, do I have that right? It felt very epilogue, like very like, setting up, things, kind of trying to unwind themselves from that real dark ending of the previous movie. But yeah, I'm very curious where they're going to go from here and if they can maintain this. I don't know if they can. I think they just got lucky. They got lucky with Iron Man, and lucky that they kind of maintained this mediocre, watchable quality to all the movies in between. But Captain Marvel was not great, and if they have too many of those in this next cycle, and who's the big bad? Like, what are they going to lead up to, and how are they going to? I mean, I think they're lucky that the last film they got left is Spider-Man, because people will go see Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man, and this is kind of a fun version, like the kid version, the high school version of Spider-Man is fun, and they're lucky with that. But I don't know whatever else is coming up. It'll be interesting to see. And then they've got the beginning of their TV thing. So, I mean, really, it's a weird time. This is a very strange year for a lot of kind of pop culture properties, because you've got the end of Game of Thrones, which has gone beyond the books, and who knows what kind of bizarre ending. They're so far afield from what may or may not be happening in the books. I don't even know if you can write a book after this TV show. So that'll be fun to see. And Game of Thrones is ending. And they're only going to do a 6-episode season. So I guess they can't screw that much up, because it's just going to be a lot of fighting ice zombies. Spoilers. And yeah, so it's just going to be the kind of how things are going to finish out. So who they're going to kill. And that'll be funny, because that was like the last season of Sopranos was a double long season. It was like 2 sets of like 10 or 12 episodes, 10 episodes, I think, and a lot of death. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Game of Thrones. But that's it. Then that's it for that. And I don't know what else is coming from HBO that is even going to be close to as big as that is. And they're talking about there's going to be like a prequel series or something, like something else related to the Song of Ice and Fire world and setting, but happening maybe before the events of this series of Game of Thrones. And that's, people that like that world are going to enjoy that, but it's not going to come anywhere near the kind of crazy watching in a bar, watching in a sports bar with a group of people level of popularity that this has. I mean, they're really going to have to go out of their way to make it compelling, and I don't know if they will, especially because they're stuck with, they're going to go back to hopefully working with things that are the original Martin texts, instead of this fan servicey weird world they're in now. I think their writing, especially for season 7, is just terrible. And it's just like you could feel the writers being aware of things. I really don't like that. That's a very new thing, is the writers reading the internet or reading Twitter or whatever, and then informing, like, well, this character is popular, so we can't do this, and we should do this. And, there's too much awareness. There's too much like kind of meta of these shows now, and they're very aware of like their place in pop culture and popularity of certain characters. And, the things are popular, always, and previously things in pop culture become popular, or like, they resonate at a time at a place, and like just people are connecting with something because of, kind of social, cultural things that just kind of line up, and it just, makes sense with people. But you have that still happening, but you have access to it. You don't look at it, look at it in hindsight, or look at it after the fact, in the midst of things. So much stuff starts to feel like fan fiction because there's too much awareness. Like, fan fiction is written with a total awareness of how the culture has reacted to these things, and how you're pulling things out, or how you're manipulating an existing property because of how the culture has already reacted to it. And so many things like the new Star Wars movies and things are feeling so self-aware and so just tied up in their what they are and how they react in the culture and things. So it's very, very odd to be in the midst of that. And I don't think this, because people have already been complaining about kind of corporate, the films made by committee, and companies giving producers too much power to make changes, so they take it away from writers and directors, and it's a group of people, and they're just kind of assembling things, and complaining about that. But now they're handing it even further into like written by the fans. Like, nobody wants to watch those shows, nobody, because you're never going to please that group as a whole, and things that you do are going to be so self-conscious and so strange that I don't know why you would ever pay attention to what fans say. I mean, maybe you can keep, is that the point, to just try to keep a majority of people happy during the running of a series of seasons of a show? It's just bizarre. And I guess because the way the production works, things are done years out, so you're actually we've got this weird delay. So in the last season or previously, people thought this, and so let's run with this or push this even further. But it may have already changed, and what you're producing is going to create a different effect, and it's just too messy and too. It loses or moves away so far from like an individual vision, or being able to have a kind of cohesive, a thing that's going to surprise you. I think that's the thing that is the worst, is things stop surprising you in those good ways, in those like satisfying ways. And wow, I didn't see that happening, but that makes sense. That there's no more makes sense. It's just, oh, that's got to happen. They've got to get together, or she's got to win, or they've got to do. It just feels way too self-conscious. So I don't like that new style, and a lot of people are like, no, that's how it is now. That's just, it's not. That's just ridiculous. If you've got people that are going to not just pander to this like retro, remember this kind of thing, but they're actually going to pander to, so what would you like to see them do? Press 1 if you'd like to. Yeah, it's just sad. If that's the kind of entertainment you want to be spoon-fed this bizarre. You don't want to be surprised. You don't want to be interested, or you don't you don't want the ability to just reject something and say, yeah, that's not for me. You want a show to actually like try to satisfy your every impulse. Yeah, that's very odd. I don't understand. Yeah, but there are people that like that, and I think there's, the younger you are, the more you may feel like that. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to, I don't want my favorite character to die, or I don't want the characters that I'm imagining getting together not, because, what's that going to do? Yeah, it's odd. It's an odd kind of entertainment. So what do we have? So we've got, and then we have the sequel trilogy finishing. So episode 9, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, whatever. That's ending, and I think they're going to have trouble figuring out who they are and where they are from that. Marvel's ending their big villain, so they're going to have to kind of re-establish the, where things are heading, because that was I think the enjoyable part of this first phase, or first 10 phases, or whatever they consider this, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is that they seeded it with these little hints of things that are going to happen. And when you go back and watch the movie, it's fun because it's in there, and they didn't do anything. They're like, whatever, forget about that. We're not going to do that. They didn't put things in there that didn't, they kept building on an idea and an event, and that's great. And they really need to figure out what they're doing next, and it's going to be hard, because where do you go after Infinity Gauntlet? There's not big events. I mean, Secret War would be interesting, but I don't think that's very filmable. I don't think that's that's just a silly, here's everybody together and Spider-Man's fighting the X-Men, and whatever. That has a little bit too much of the, I guess all comic books have that silly comic book thing that is a little uncomfortable when you see it on the big screen. That was the thing that I thought was so funny about the Sin City films. Was it Robert Rodriguez that did those, or I don't know, but the Sin City, with those weird black and white, super digital movies that they did, is they just use the framing and the design of the straight from the comics. They just translated shots into, panels into shots in the movie. But the dialogue and things that people were saying were so hysterical, because it's only stuff that's comfortable to kind of read in your head. And then when you hear people actually saying that, it's oof, ouch, that's brutal. It's a little cringy how things are supposed to be cool or supposed to be whatever. It just doesn't read well. I'm having trouble doing anything even slightly complicated today. I'm all over the place here. But so I think Secret Wars might be one of those things where it's just and it doesn't really make any sense. It's not really that interesting a story. There might be something there that you could work with, just all the heroes being brought to this place, and it might be a neat way to introduce new heroes, and because that was the origin of Spider-Man's alien costume and stuff. There was some fun stuff in there, but I don't know. And it seems like they've already cherry picked, because there's a scene, this is out of context, so it's not really spoiling anything, but there's a scene in Endgame that's very much from Secret Wars, where Hulk is kind of holding something up to protect, something has collapsed, and he's protecting people, other heroes, and holding stuff up. And that was a cover of one of the issues of Secret Wars. So that they're kind of cherry picking Planet Hulk and different little moments from things for the cinematic universe. But yeah, I don't know if there's a big thing that's going to make any sense, because recently, I don't know. Because I didn't in the comics, I really didn't like Civil War. And a lot of recent stuff is just garbage. What is it? The Captain America being Hydra, Invisible, whatever it was called. But a lot of garbage. So we'll see. But yeah, they gotta bring it back down, and they gotta actually get people to go to movies that aren't going to be that exciting and don't have big stakes and have those random who cares villains and stuff. That's going to be a hard shift. And I guess if they stop making movies for a while and focus on TV or something, kind of sounds like Star Wars is going to do, that might be a way to make people hungry for that stuff again, so that they'll tolerate these lesser villains or whatever. Yeah, because Spider-Man was setting up the Sinister Six, and Doctor Strange set up I can't remember the character's name. Morbius set up a villain for him. Captain Marvel didn't do anything except tell you how stupid Skrulls are, how family friendly Skrulls are. And yeah, so I'm not sure kind of what we're waiting for. And then the third, Guardians, there's nothing kind of set up for that because everything was just kind of setting up Infinity War. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting shift, and hopefully, I mean, it might be a nice time for other things to get their shot. You know, non-superhero science fiction or fantasy things to get their shot. What's left? Yeah, I don't know, but this is a weird end of an era, and we'll see what happens next. We'll see if, I just don't think they can produce, because they're not going to have a Robert Downey Jr. There's nobody that charismatic left in the Marvel Universe, so I don't know where things are headed. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment coming. It's going to be a long stream, I have a feeling, because I'm not getting anywhere drawing wise. But yeah, so that's a weird thing. So after this Star Wars movie, and after so we've got like 3 more weeks of Game of Thrones, and then that's done, and then Christmas is the last Star Wars movie. So the end of 2019 is, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see what is coming out summer of 2020, and it's Olympics in Tokyo Olympics in Japan. Yeah, funny thing that's happening here is a lot of the schools, private universities and private schools, have been anticipating a decline in this number of students. So if they're private schools that are just relying on more and more enrollment, they have to get more competitive because there's fewer students to go around. So there's been a lot of construction at universities and private schools and things. You see all these new buildings and stuff going in because they want to look as good as possible for this kind of, over these next few years, as each year the number of students declines. They need to keep their numbers up, so they need to look good. So that's a funny thing. Japan's dwindling population. And that's, I think, what all this new era is going to be dealing with, is kind of the cultural changes and everything involved in Japan, having to figure out how to deal with that, compensate for the fewer number of people. What am I drawing here? In the country. So we'll see. And they don't have a good track record of dealing with foreigners. So what is that? We'll see what happens. Sorry. Oh, so hello if you're joining the stream. I hope your Golden Week is going well, as well as mine. Ugh, yeah, the weather is terrible already for the first few days. So anybody that's going to the beach, I'm sure, is miserable, but hopefully people that are leaving the country are happy about it. All right. Oh, there was a interesting thing in Endgame that reminded me of something in Last Jedi, that almost this weird kind of meta stuff that the characters are saying. And I don't know how spoilery this is, but the basic idea, I'll just kind of paraphrase so it won't have enough of a context. But one of the characters says that you can't let go of the past, so you will never appreciate, the things to come. I'm trying to change it as much as possible, so that you won't appreciate. You won't look forward to anything new or anything. And I think that's a funny comment on kind of the movie-going audience. And I don't know if it's because you can blame the studios for what they're doing is just like recycling all this old nostalgia. But at the same time, the audiences are filling the theaters for it. It's not like they just decided to do this. They've got a response, and so there's funny things, because that thing in Last Jedi where Kylo was just saying, the give up the past, kill it if you have to, kind of like anti-past, memory and history stuff. It's funny that you keep hearing that in films, coming out of characters' mouths in films. Oh, sorry. Oh, but that's it's a funny thing. But there was something like that in Endgame, so listen for that. And it's one of those things that you just kind of like, ooh, that's meta. That like takes you a little bit out, and like, is that just a criticism of the people watching these films? Yeah. And I never thought about that so much. I think the first thing that really hit me like that was the first line of Force Awakens. Max von Sydow says, "This will make things right," or whatever. So setting up this whole, like, do you remember the trauma of the prequels? Well, hopefully this will be that good old, style of Star Wars movie you remember. It'll be a nice retread for you. But I remember that seeming so self-aware or whatever. And so there's been some things in movies like that. Ugh. No Photoshop tool in the world can fix my drawing. Sorry. All right. What's going on here? So this is garbage. This is garbage. That's all together. All right, what's this? That's that. Oh, we're back down to only two things. Oh, and they're both at very weird angles. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, sorry. We got a little bit of a cough maybe from this wet, colder weather. Felt like summer for a week, and now it's cold spring again. It's lovely. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, no, it's a very strange difference in perspective here. I'm not happy with any of this. Okay, well, we'll leave this and see. happens here. But I'll keep going. Oh, this is, yeah. Everything's just off. Sorry. Camera's off, mic's off. As in, feels weird. Oh, so nice long stream. So hello everyone in the stream. Keeps jumping around. Yeah, I definitely have. I've got no luck on Twitch at all with this stream. I don't know if it's timing or just, you know, there's not much of a people watching drawing or whatever, or that, you know, they want to watch anime, whatever. Yeah. As soon as they say, oh, he's drawing boxes and peanut butter, they get distracted. I don't know. Yeah, I just gotta keep doing stuff here. Yeah, I don't know if I've kind of streamed myself into a weird process now for doing the cartoons or not, if it's a good... that can almost be bred. If it's a good thing or not. Because that, you know, talking and drawing is pretty brutal. And it's definitely changed how I've been working, and I don't know if it's a positive thing or not. As far as it's made the work, I don't know. I'm not sure what effect it's had. But it definitely has, you know, changed things, changed how I'm working. Sometimes I'll come, you know, to the stream with an idea or something that I had in mind. But the times that I don't, I'm not sure what, you know, how that's affecting what I'm creating. I don't know. And I've still got that weird disconnection where the familiar objects that I used to draw are kind of, there we go. Very affected by now everything being strange and foreign and exotic, but that's my normal. So, yeah, I don't know. It's had an odd effect, and that's an odd looking jar. Oof. And I've realized my readership might be a little bit older than I thought. Like reading some comments and things on Go Comics. I gotta not make certain references and things because they don't work very well. Okay, here we go. No. No? Nothing? Come on. What's going on here? I'm stuck in some weird memory thing. I don't know what's going on here. Now I'm in the lasso tool. Can I please? Thank you. Very odd. Yeah, this is not. This is all wrong. Okay. No. Let's see how weird this looks. All right, and then maybe a little distorted. Make these make more sense. Ba-bum. No, 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 no. Okay, how's that? All right. Yeah, I think I want to do some kind of a weird sandwich. So, what would that be? Oh, something odd on a sandwich. That you could tell what it was. I can't even think. All right. I hope this lighting is okay. It's looking a little weird. Oh. Yeah, sorry. I guess the stream is going okay, so thanks for joining me, and I hope that it's sounding okay. Yeah, I've got to get the chat working a little bit better so it's coming up on the screen. So I can just kind of glance at it out of the corner of my eye. But I don't have that right now. So if you're just joining, thank you for taking a look. And what is this? Yeah, I can't think visually of what. Keep doing this. Let's see. Something like that. Whoops. Boom, boom. Well, this will be a ponderous thing to watch. Yeah, so trying to think of a thing between two slices of bread that's actually got some visual something. Yeah, everything I'm picturing is so non-specific, indistinct kind of weirdness. Wow, is the background noise really that bad? Yeah, I've got this turned way down. But just the background rumble, I don't even have any air on. Yeah, I guess the road, this mic is just crazy sensitive. So I'm going to have to play with that. So I apologize if this is too brrr, because sounds like you can hear everything. Yeah, I think you can, yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize this was going to be so sensitive. So that's better, maybe? I don't know. It's crazy. All right, well, we'll get things figured out. Trial and error type stuff. All right, what's going on here? An aspirin sandwich. How about something like that? Yeah, I could have used that this morning. Oof. This needs a little bit more of a bend, I think. Oh, come on. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a little too straight is why that looks weird. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so maybe like a dietary supplement kind of thing here. Let's try this. Yeah, so maybe this needs to be bigger. Yeah, something like that is odd looking. Not quite so big. I'm doing the thick Japanese style bread. It's very funny here, the white bread, the loaves of bread that they have a standard size of a loaf, like a bread pan loaf, and then if you get 4 slices from that, each slice is a certain thickness, and 5 they're a little bit thinner, 6 are a little bit thinner, like 10 they're like finger sandwiches, kind of cucumber sandwich thickness. But it's just the number of slices of bread you want from a loaf, or their idea of a loaf or a half loaf, is how thick the slices will be. So that's very funny. And a few family members and things have said that's their favorite thing about Japan is the thick bread, the Texas toast that seems to be around. I'm sure I've talked about that before. Okay, so something like that. And what are we doing here? Yeah. Yeah, so not the water bottle. I don't think that's working. More book jokes, though, really? How about another e-reader joke? Let's see. Really? What's going on here? What is going on? I'm all slowed up here. Come on. Yeah, sorry. Yes, delete the state of the pencil. What did that do? Nothing. That must be a little dot or something. There we go. Alright. Just trying to draw a little e-reader. A little bit bigger. Mm-hmm. Oh, we gotta be careful. I like that, but it's gonna interfere with the eyes, I think. Mm-hmm. Okay, so... Oh yeah, maybe... Jeez, come on. Yeah, maybe a smaller book size. I should probably just draw a different book, but... Let's see. Yeah, it's looking too much like a copy. Maybe one more. Okay. Something like that. Yeah. Oof, this is a rough week. Okay. Yeah. So let's go with something like that. So color a little bit of this. Oh. Sorry. There we go. All right. Whoa, what did I do now? No. What happened? Why did this go wacky? There we go. All right, let's try to, come on. Let's try to color this. A little bit lighter than that, maybe. Something like that. Then I want like a nice yellowy, faded paper color. Too dark. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm very happy I took the mic off of the table. This would have been a horrible sounding, or even worse than before, because the very sensitive microphone would have made it horrible to listen to. Oh, that road noise, though, sounds insanely loud. And maybe here. A little bit. Oh, there we go. Alright, a little bit here. Okay, what happened? What happened? There we go. All right. Okay, I think that's working. And then maybe some text. All right, and then just a few light parts. Yeah, I don't need that. Well, maybe a little glossiness on this cover. All right, something like that. All right, sad books. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then maybe some light edges on the page. Something like that. Okay. So there's some sad books and an e-reader. Ugh. And this. A sandwich and some supplements. Come on. Really? Really? Amazing. Not doing well. I don't even know what that was. That was bizarre. Wow. Guess I should learn that shortcut, whatever that is. Jeez. that's too yellow. Guess that works. Alright, and then the label I'll put on another layer. Oh, that's right. That's why. Okay. All of this. Yeah. This. Okay. I guess I didn't close that. Just have it all gray. That's not gonna come that far down, I don't think. Yeah, sure. All right, and maybe a few. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Well, let's wait for this to catch up. There we go. All right. And some eyes, and I think we're done. Morning afters. Okay, let me write this before I forget. Because I will. I'm just in that. Come on. Just in that mode. Oh, this machine is driving me crazy. It's so slow. Can I please have my cursor? Anyhow. Oh. Haha. There we are. There we go. Nothing. totally frozen. Great. Nothing? Yeah, it's just no response. It let me save, but it doesn't let me change. That's the thing. I've had fun with Premiere lately. The cursor just disappears in Premiere when you're having memory problems. And I looked it up on their official forums, and it's like, we've not been able to reproduce this problem. And, you know, so many people are posting about it. It's just because they're not using old machines, and they prefer to not, I'm sure. Thank you. And where did that go? What is going on? I didn't do anything. Jesus. I don't know why it did that, and I don't know. Okay. Well, we'll just take a minute to let this machine figure out what's going on. I just wanted to type something, but I guess that's a lot to ask. All right, come on. Would like to finish this sometime this evening. Come on. Are you serious? Well, anyhow. Okay, I guess we're just going to let this do whatever. So let's switch over to a quick... Okay. Switch over to a quick little thing while this thing is figuring out what's going on. I don't even know what Photoshop is doing. So, convenience store. Okay, so did that happen? I don't know. The whole machine is lagging now, so I can't tell what's going on. All right, so for a quick convenience store segment, I bring to you pine candy. So pine ame. So the company that makes pine candy is Pine. So if you go to pine.co.jp, you can find the Pine Candy Company, and basically this is it. This is what they do. They have a few other types of hard candy, but Pine makes, you guessed it, pineapple candy. And so flavor-wise, you hear a lot of people just refer to the flavor of pineapple. It's just pine in Japanese. So just that first part there, pine flavor. So flavors of ice cream or drinks or different things, juices, we'll just say pine. They don't say pineapple. So this is pine candy. And I looked up on so this is a very standard and very old. I didn't get a date on their website, but a very old candy. And the thing that I thought was very funny about it, it's amazing. It's a really amazing, and I think still pretty popular flavor. So it's just one of these little guys, like a lifesaver kind of style. And but they're pretty amazingly good candies. And so let's try. So one of these are pretty thick though, but a lot fatter than a lifesaver. But yeah, amazing. And the one thing that they say, so there's three parts that they say make their pineapple candy so amazing. The first is the smell, the perfume, they call it. This smells so much like pineapple, and I guess because smell and taste are so so closely connected. You are immediately tasting pineapple just as soon as you open the candy. The smell of it is just whoa, super Hawaii pineapple flavor. And of course, the second one is juice. There is actually pineapple juice in here, so it's very, very natural tasting. And that's the thing I've noticed about a lot of Japanese candies is they're actually using real fruit juices and things. So the flavor is so natural very mild, and it's not that weird simulation that you get with a lot of American candy. And the third thing they say is they use skim milk powder. So milk powder goes into here, and it does make it softens the flavor. It makes it more a little creamy and gentle. So the flavor itself is very mild and very nice, and you don't get kind of overwhelmed by it, and it doesn't get too sour or too much. So the milk powder kind of levels it off, and you can kind of tell, and it does give it a little pineapple look. So if just juice in hard candy, with sugar, it would be more clear, like Lifesavers are more translucent. And this is a little cloudy. So you can see that there actually is milk powder in there, but that also makes it look like the fruit of a pineapple. The actual look of a pineapple is not very transparent. It's kind of cloudy. So it visually makes it match the actual fruit better. It makes the flavor very gentle. So if you ever see these, they're definitely worth trying. And if a company is only doing one kind of candy, they must be doing it right. Let me take a quick look and see if I can get a year. No, they don't. Yeah, they don't have a history. Let's try history. But yeah, it's amazing candy. So it looks like a pineapple, and they have there's goods and stuff. You'll see things that have that look to them. But this candy is amazingly good pine candy. Wow, the whole machine is freezing up on me. I can't even move through a website. But pine candy. Yeah, and I'm surprised. There is a lot of pineapple. I guess there are a lot of pineapple flavored things in Japan, but this is a sorry about the candy sucking sounds. This is a standard thing, and you'll see it in every convenience store. In the candy section, they'll have just the plain pine candy, and it's just a default liked flavor. So people will buy an entire bag of only pine candy. Yeah, they don't say anything else as far as unique ingredients or anything. And they actually have an expiration too. So 1951. So from the 50s. Yeah, it seems like a 50s flavor. It doesn't seem older than that. Kind of older candies, like, don't have, are using different technology and have like a more old-fashioned taste, and definitely just very sugar based. But this is very fruit juice based. Wonderful. So the little tiny cloudy pineapple candies are worth trying, and Japan does them very well for some reason. I think because they love Hawaii so much. So if you get a chance, try those the next time you are. Oh, come on. The next time you are in Japan. All right, back to the drawing. Let's write these things up. There we go. Back again to the drawing board. Okay, I think the memory problems have relented, possibly. Okay, there we go. Okay, so morning after an ibuprofen sandwich. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. So maybe first morning. Morning after one word? So I was thinking also health supplements. Sorry, I'm still eating pineapple candy. Program error. Yeah, that's right. A program error. Jeez. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. Well, my menu got knocked into wacky land here. Amazing. So, the thing that I thought was funny, this morning after oh, it's saving. So I was originally thinking health supplements, but I'm going to do ibuprofen sandwich. Makes me think this is a much funnier idea. Morning afters. An ibuprofen sandwich. Ugh, yeah, I'm stuck on this save thing. Well, this is doing really badly. Okay, so I joke is kind of obvious, but I liked it. Actual books made wonderful e-reader stands. Resented or disgusted. It's going to be insulting and ironic and silly. Actual books made surprisingly good e-reader stands. I think that's kind of, I don't agree with that. What a mess. People are already dying on the holidays. Actual books made surprisingly good e-reader stands. I kind of want that to be ironically funny, but I don't. I guess that's okay. Ibuprofen sandwich. was not the recommended dosage. Was never a recommended. An ibuprofen sandwich was never. Never the recommended dosage. Was never a recommended dosage. An ibuprofen sandwich was never the recommended dosage. Okay, something like that. And I wanted to fix actually a shadow on here. There we go. All right, something like that. Okay, so actual books made surprisingly good e-reader stands. Unfortunately good e-reader stands. I don't know. Something. And an ibuprofen sandwich was never the recommended dosage. All right. We survived this week. Woof. Yeah, so I've been under an hour recently, and this is 90 minutes of wonderfulness. So thank you for hanging in there. And sorry this was having some technical issues, and I hope that this microphone situation was okay. I will listen back and find out, but leave me your unhappiness in the comments if this was not pleasant to listen to, and I'll try to get it fixed for next time. But thank you for joining me, and thank you also to the patrons of this comic. This cartoon is only possible with your support, so thank you so much. And if you would like to become a patron and support this drawing and streaming and everything, please visit patreon.com/abusecartoons and join for very little. And there are things like signed books and original art that are up for your selection. And thank you so much if you decide to do that. And if you'd like to follow this cartoon at Abuse Cartoons on Twitter, abusecartoons.com is the website, and check out gocomics.com/domesticabuse for a subscription to this cartoon and thousands more. So thank you again, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.